Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm very excited to have you join me. We are going to dive right into your reading, see what messages Spirit has for us today. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. These are general readings, so please keep that in mind and take what resonates and leave the rest. Spirit, what does Pisces need to know right now? Well, you're protected by angels. Wow, Pisces, you have begin now, take your first step, protected by angels, taking shelter, and vast vistas. This is a really interesting energy, and I just replied to a comment on yesterday's video where someone was asking me about reading tarot and how I learned to read tarot the way that I did. And honestly, it's kind of like a really hard question to answer because it's the culmination of all 49 of my years, all of my experience, all of my curiosity and where that's led me. Yes, it is a product of teachers. I did have an amazing tarot teacher. But I've also had really amazing yoga and meditation teachers. I've really been very fortunate by the people that I've come into contact with. And that's all really reminding me of what this is right here, this message. And it is like trusting the process, trusting the journey, knowing that you are protected, being willing to go within and being willing to push yourself to, follow your curiosity, follow your passion. If you want to learn tarot, take a first step. Maybe it starts with learning to read tarot. That's not where it started with me. It actually started in my yoga studio, and my yoga studio offered a tarot class. And that was my first tarot class. And actually, it started before that because I bought my first tarot deck when I was in New York City as a photographer decades ago, and started messing around with the tarot. But anyway, what I'm saying is you never know what you're going to discover or where that path is going to lead you or what it's going to, bring into your life or how it's going to inform you or how it's going to inform your journey. When I started doing yoga, it was really because my daughter went to camp and they had yoga there and she loved it and she wanted to go, but she didn't want to go by herself. So I went with my daughter to yoga when she was, I don't know, 13 or something. And we both just loved it and just happened to come into a really beautiful and amazing yoga studio with really beautiful and amazing teachers. And we ended up getting our yoga teacher certifications, years later. I think 5 years after we started there at the studio, we became yoga instructors. So there is this energy of trusting that you are protected and that where you are right now is exactly where you're meant to be. And if you are curious about something or you want to learn more about something or, whatever it may be, or if you have an idea for a business, or if you have, if you wanted to go back and get another education, or if you're tired of your job and you want to see what else is out there, whatever the case may be, there's no better time to take a step and just see where that step leads you. Listen to your intuition, allow that step to lead you to another step, who you may meet along the way. But I feel like Pisces, there is an energy that possibly you have been doing a lot of going within, especially maybe over this winter time or over this last season. And now maybe it's like the world is kind of beckoning you out. Where do you want to go? What do you want to explore more? What do you want to find out more about? What kind of experiences do you want to invite into your life? What things do you want to try and see? Maybe you want to take a cooking class or a ballroom dancing class or whatever it may be. This feels like a very good time that's where you're highly supported on whatever journey you're going to take to just sort of explore more, whatever those answers are, whatever, inside that lantern from this hermit phase that I feel like you're kind of awakening up from, What did you discover? What is something that you really want? Okay, what could put you on the path to that? Where might you meet those people? Where might you, come across those opportunities? And honestly, I just traveled to see my daughter, and I actually made two really good friends. One in the airplane, we exchanged numbers, and we just have an infinite amount in common, and we're definitely continuing on past the airplane experience. And the other in the restaurant while I was waiting for my delayed plane, I met someone who went to my college, and we ended up talking and really hitting it off, and he gave me his phone number, and just random, but you meet people in strange places. I didn't go on this trip to meet strangers in airplanes and airports, but that just happened. So whenever the divine puts people on your path, you just have to go out into the world, open to the experience of it, open to whatever comes, right? And no, I'm not saying always listening to your own intuition, and always if you're feeling warning flags or red flags or whatever, that don't listen to that. But I mean, do listen to that. Don't continue on that path. Always listen to your gut and to your intuition. And if it's telling you someone's not safe, then, don't take it that way. But I always listen to my intuition, and I felt really great about these people that I met, and feel really lucky to have had that experience. I've always, my kids, my friends, when I was a really active photographer, my clients used to say to me, I would always come with stories of people I met on the airport and on the airplane, and they were like, you need to make a movie about the people you meet in the airplanes and the experiences you have, because people just pour their guts out to you. And I've learned a lot about people actually just from traveling. Anyway, you guys, you have peace, grounded, and belief here. Yeah, this is Pisces. I feel like there's this energy of, when we feel a sense of inner peace, which I feel like there's something happening here with this taking shelter and this peace energy of where it's like when you can go within and you can kind of come to a place of peace and acceptance with where you're at, and even the idea that where you're at is exactly where you're meant to be, and that everything is unfolding in perfect perfection, no matter how messy, how sloppy, how whatever it has been. We all really have those moments. We all really have those things. And, if you can just come to a place of, yeah, that's my mess. It's my beautiful mess. That's my journey. That's how I ended up here. Yep. But not needing to carry that narrative or maintain that narrative as your narrative as you're moving forward. When we really are at a place of peace and we know that we got the gift from the situation, we can release the need to retell the story. Sometimes retelling the story is helpful for people who are going through it. But sometimes what's more helpful is just saying what we learned, or where our focus was turned through our similar or shared kind of experience. You know what I mean? We don't always have to be that character in the book. We don't always have to be someone who's been hurt, or someone who's been betrayed, or someone who's been lied to, or someone who's been whatever it is. If you've gotten the gift of discernment from those experiences, or you've gotten whatever gift you've gotten from them, the gift is what is really important, and the gift is what is meant for you to take with you. The rest of it is meant for us to let go and to release, because when we hold on to it, we've seen the energy of the 10 of Wands. We know what that is all about. That is us holding on to the burdens of our past. And because we've made that choice to hold on to the burdens of our past, we're not able to open up to receive the new and the beautiful that's definitely, trying to come in here. And we're not even really open to it because our hands are full. We can't see, everything is blocked by those burdens. And even if it's just in one area of your life, or even if you tell yourself, well, that's just one area of my life, it carries over and it carries over and it carries over. So there's no such thing as being blocked, but only in one place. A blockage is a blockage. It blocks, that's what it does. So there's this energy of, I feel like Spirit is really nudging you. If you don't feel like you're at a place of peace with everything at this exact moment, it's really pushing you in that direction, or it's guiding you to the path to be able to release those burdens. And just let it all go. Or I feel like some of you have released those burdens, and now you are at this place of peace. And this place of peace is a very neutral, very solid foundation for whatever is going to come next, whatever journey you are about to go on, whatever opportunities are about to come. You've done the work, you're at peace, and now you're ready to begin something new. You're open, you're available, you can see very clearly, and you're ready to begin a new cycle. Whenever we begin something new, it's super important to stay really grounded in who we are, what we're about, and where we're going. Sometimes when we learn something new, or we travel to a new place, or we can almost get swept up in the experience of it, and almost really take on like air sign qualities of, wanting to learn everything that there is to learn, and, not remembering to bring it back into the context of us and our own reality, if that makes sense. I struggle with this a lot because I am an air sign all across the board. I am Libra, 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 Gemini, Libra, you know what I mean? Aquarius. So I do have Pisces in my chart though. And I do have fire, a lot of fire in my chart. But the thing is, there is this energy of, if you stay grounded in who you are, and you believe that this path, the path that you're on, is the path that you're on for a reason, and that it is leading you somewhere, and that you are being guided somewhere, and that not only that, but that you have the ability to make free will choices to go in certain directions. And if you really listen to yourself, and you listen to your gut, and you listen to your intuition while following this journey, it is taking you where you're meant to go. It's taking you somewhere purposeful, somewhere important, somewhere that has the ability to really make big, bold changes in your life. And, you can see all these dolphins kind of swimming toward the light in this darkness, and trusting in the light that they see in the darkness. So for some of you, that may be hope. For some of you, that may be curiosity. That may be a desire to learn something new, or to follow a new path. It may even be someone new that you've met, a potential new relationship. But, even if we're presented with the opportunity of a potential new relationship, and either we're still hung up on a past person, or we're still hung up on the stories of our past, of the liar, of the cheater, of the this, of the that, what they did to us, how it felt, how we'll never be a fool like that again, are we really able, right, to go toward the light? Because we're so weighed down by those burdens, by carrying all of that with us. I feel like you're getting ready. Yeah, I feel like you're going to have some new people coming into your life, and not just romantic partners, but friends. You have a whole bunch of flipped cards there. Yeah, Pisces, I don't know. You've got life goals on the bottom of the deck, and I feel, so for some of you, see, look, okay. Guys, I don't know, this is such a strong thing, and I know a lot of you are going to say, I've already healed, I've already done the work, and maybe that is true, and maybe there's, more that can be done. I don't know, but definitely you're getting this energy here of trust issues. And trust issues, I feel like they're from past relationships, or they're from endings in your life. It doesn't really necessarily have to even be like an intimate relationship. This can be friendships. This can be your bloodline, your family. This can be a lot of things. And it's like when we see, how other people see us is none of our business. Like, there is absolutely nothing in trying to figure that out that's going to inform us of anything useful to us, because that is a reflection of that person. That is where that person's map for their work or their, their own enlightenment comes, but it has nothing to do with you. Where your roadmap comes from, where your enlightenment comes from, is how you see other people. Okay? And so when we want to understand, when we want to really release the burdens, or when we want to know, did I release all my burdens, we have to look at how we look at other people and how we feel about other people. Because what we tend to do is project our own experiences onto them, our own hurts, our own suffering, our own stuff onto them. And that is where our information comes. All right? And if you have a tendency to look at people and only see the good and really become enamored and think maybe even that person has some skill or knowledge or this or that you don't have, or that you wish you were like that person, or you're envious, or you're jealous, or like whatever, or you have a basic mistrust of people and you're very skeptical and you're gonna like wait and see if the proof shows up to back up what somebody is saying, or do you know what I'm saying? All of those things are informative. And once you begin to really decode how you're looking at other people and what that means and how that translates and where that comes from within yourself, how that has altered, how your own experiences have altered your view, that's where true healing begins and true openness to receive things begin. Now, we're still dealing with a world full of people who have also been hurt and also are walking around with altered views that also inform their behavior, right? But when you get to the bottom of your own self, that's really all you can do. You can't change other people. You can help by being the light, by being an example, or by sharing your journey. But you can't kind of make it so that you only come into contact. Actually, I was literally, my like best friend is a Pisces, and I was talking to him, I think it was yesterday or the day before, anyway, it doesn't really matter, but he was talking about how we were talking about narcissists and how there are like 1 in 6 people are narcissists, and how we've both had really experiences that have led to a tremendous amount of suffering, but also enlightenment at the hands of really narcissistic people. And so we were talking about it, and he goes, you cannot avoid them, but all you can do is kind of like hide. You can acknowledge, okay, there's one, okay, there's one, okay, there's one, and then you can just not make yourself accessible. And that's about the best you can do, is cut off access to your person to these people. And that is true, or at least I believe it's true. We just don't want to interact, and we certainly don't want to give them access to our inner sanctum, and we certainly don't want to get in a position where that person can wreak havoc in our life. And so the thing is that, and hide, I don't mean like play small or go inside a box or go inside a hole and never come out so that you don't come into contact with these people. I just mean you learn to identify them very quickly, and you learn to, not give them access to your space. And sometimes it's a lesson that you learn multiple times. Sometimes it's like you get involved with the narcissist, then you get involved with another one, and then you get involved with another one, until you're like, I don't want to withstand this again. I don't want to go through this journey again. And that's when you finally say, okay, I've learned the lesson. I've gotten the enlightenment. Now I can let go of those experiences, those past experiences, that narrative of having dealt with that. And as I move forward, you know, and also there's a tremendous amount of healing that comes from the trauma that narcissists dish out. But you come to this place where it's like, once you identify those characteristics in another person, you're like, hey, yep, great, good to know, not going there again. You know what I mean? Not going to open myself up to that. So, so there is a way of, taking the lesson, the learning, the experience, and knowing and being real with yourself that, right, this is probably an unavoidable situation for myself moving forward, because just by the sheer number of them, and unless I want to like crawl up in a hole and not live my life to the extent that I desire to live my life, but I also, trust issues is also giving me trust yourself. And, you know, that's the thing. A lot of us get the red flags. A lot of us go, oh yeah, there's a red flag, there's a red flag. But then we go, but I really like this person. But man, you know, I could really see myself being with this person, or the lifestyle, or this, or that, or whatever. And then you'll kind of abandon your own red alert system that you have within you. And, you know, you'll say, I'll just play it by ear. I'll just see how it goes. And a lot of us, you know, our ego is there to keep us safe, but sometimes our ego will prop us up and be like, you got this, you can handle this. That would be so fun. That would be this, that would be that. You know what I'm saying? And so you really have to trust yourself. And when you get those feelings, when you get that red flag feeling, when you get those feelings, then you just have to know, now is my time to pull back. Now is my time to not give this person access to me. Rather than carry around the narrative of the experience. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I should just not muddy the waters too much more, but basically what I'm saying is, you take the enlightenment, you take the wisdom, you take the lesson, you Queen of Swords it, you know, you're discerning, you trust yourself, you take your sword and you cut it off. When you get that red flag, when you get that inclination, you cut it off. You don't continue to give to the situation and give access and grant more and more access to this person, and then, you know, have another horrific experience where you're traumatized all over again and have to go through the entire healing process again. This is about really trusting that clarity and trusting your intuition and really listening to that. Because I do feel like you are being called out here, Pisces, to expand your horizons, to, you know, there's definitely some kind of adventure here. There's definitely meeting new people. I think friends and potentially a partner. I feel like this is about looking at, you know, taking a zoomed out look at your life and where it is that you're trying to go and what it is that you want, and deciding where you're going to take a first step, and also deciding what you can release so that what you're carrying on this journey is lighter. You know, it's like if you were going to move, you'd go through your closets and clean them out and be like, all right, I definitely don't need this, I don't need that, I don't need this, I don't want to move that. You know, you'd sell stuff, you'd get rid of stuff. Well, the same thing inside, you know, going within and saying, okay, yeah, I had this experience, but I don't need to carry this narrative. I don't need to be the person. I don't need to, when I meet someone, explain that I've had this entire experience, da-da-da-da-da. I just need the wisdom and the clarity that experience provided. And I need to trust myself and listen to myself when I'm getting those, you know, red flags. Because this is some kind of journey. I feel like it is tied to your soul purpose, even, Pisces, that you're starting out here, or some new cycle that is also attached to your soul purpose. But yeah, and I definitely feel like you are going to be meeting new people, and this is about not wanting to carry a lot of past stuff with you, or a past narrative with you. You know, when you start a new book, you get to pick the names of the characters and who they are and what they are, and you know, da 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 da. And it's kind of like that. What I feel here with this begin now, you're starting over. Who do you want to be? You know, and what do you want your story to be? You know, because it's going to inform part of the journey, right? Wow. See, you guys are getting Mother Star with the Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Hierophant and the Nine of Cups. Wow. Man, Pisces, you got the Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Pisces, I feel like this is kind of a profound moment for you guys right here. You know, this is all about your happiness. And this is, you're definitely, I feel like you are having some type of spiritual ascension, or you're definitely operating from a different rule book than you used to. And I think that, you know, with this Hierophant, with the keys, I keep getting this energy of not letting everyone have access to you, protecting your happiness, coveting your happiness, knowing that I feel like, honestly, the way she has the halo around her head in the Nine of Cups, it's like you've had to go through a lot and go through a lot of things in order to arrive at this place of understanding you with you, of what it takes to maintain your own happiness. And part of it is not giving everyone access to you. And with the Hierophant here, I feel like there's just a certain, people have to go beyond a certain echelon even to really come into contact with you at this point. It's weird. It's also falling on protected by angels, which is kind of making me feel this is you with you, but this is also spiritual. Like, not everyone has access to Pisces right now. You have Mother Star and Queen of Wands. This is something that's faded. You do have a firm understanding of what you want, and you are manifesting it. I also feel with this Queen of Wands, that, you know, when you manifest happiness from a space of happiness, or when you manifest emotional contentment from a space of emotional contentment, you're manifesting on a whole other level, because how we feel really affects our manifestation. And so there is this energy of understanding here about how actually important it is to find emotional contentment, you with you, and to protect it. And there's also something about you being in this energy at this time for a very specific reason with the Mother Star. The Page of Pentacles, you have learned the spiritual lessons. Like, you have been tested. You have had many things happen to you that have, and I don't like to say happen to you, because I always feel like things happen for you. You know, whether it's a lesson or whether it's, you know, ease of being, it's all happening for you. You know, if we never experienced any type of suffering, life would be a very different place, and you would have to wonder, well, what then would the purpose be? Not that our purpose is suffering, but I think our purpose is growth and expansion and greater understanding and coming closer to enlightenment. And if, you know, not to say that the only way to gain enlightenment is to suffer, because I know that's not true. I've experienced enlightenment in other ways, but suffering does tend to be the fastest and one of the more important teachers in our life, of who we are and what we're made of and what we're capable of. And, you know, I don't know, take it as you want to, right? And take what resonates and leave the rest. But with the Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, I can tell you that you have learned a lot from your past experiences. And this is sort of, for me, I almost feel like world card energy of like, okay, we can now sort of close out that cycle, or we can now sort of, you know, say, all right, I got the gift from it. Now it is time to release those burdens and to release. This almost feels like the scar that they've left behind, or that smudge on our lens, that where we just are not quite seeing things as clearly as we used to, or we're seeing it through a more skeptical or a more I don't know, shady perspective. I don't know. But there's definitely this energy here of, with the Mother Star and the Queen of Wands, you are manifesting your wish fulfillment, and you're doing it from a place of emotional contentment, you with you. And if you're not here yet, because I do feel like we're dealing with people in different timelines here. If you're not here yet, if you're still suffering or you're still working through something, and just know that it will change, and you will come to a place where there is greater understanding, and where there is a sense of being at peace and being happy again. It will come again. Wow, 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. Pisces, for some of you, this has to do something with your work. It can, for some of you, this may be even work that's tied to your soul purpose, or something that you're here to really do. I actually am getting the vibe of like ascended masters here. So I don't know what that's about. You may have like, always had an interest in a particular person that may have led you to your career, or to your field even. I do not know. I'm getting like Marie Curie. I don't know. I'm getting around like medicine or something. Or some kind of healing or something. I don't know. Anyway, there is something here about how, Rome wasn't built in a day, and with the 6 of Pentacles leading to the 8 of Pentacles, I feel like maybe at one point you found some kind of teacher, or even there is this energy of ascended master. So I don't know what that is about, but there is this give and take, or almost like you were introduced to this for a reason. There is something here where there is like a teacher student kind of equal give and take here, or I'm also getting the student becomes the teacher. I don't know. And then you have the 8 of Pentacles. There's just this energy of, even by yourself, even you with you, this is an energy of self-mastery, of self-discovery, of self-curiosity. It sort of goes back to the beginning, and, taking that first step, being curious about something, or, even sometimes like for me with yoga, it was my daughter who discovered yoga and really loved it and wanted to go. And that's how I ended up going. And that it has been a very deep personal journey for me that has been insanely meaningful. One of the most meaningful courses I've ever taken. And it wasn't even born of my own natural curiosity. It was someone that introduced me. So for some of you, there may be maybe making some kind of friend that's leading you to some kind of path where you could become some sort of expert, or some sort of, it could even help you with you master yourself. Certainly yoga has helped me and continues to help me do that. Stay on a grounded center plane where I am able to move from. With the 9 of Pentacles, this is an energy, that takes time, that happens overnight, where it's like, it does not happen overnight. Sorry. I hope it happens over a period of time, where it's like little by little by little, it's like you become the master, and then you go beyond that. It can become very lucrative for you, for some of you, potentially, definitely with the 9 of Pentacles. But it's also an energy of getting to a certain place of knowledge where others are seeking you out for that knowledge, or where you're attracting other opportunities, or you're attracting new knowledge, or I don't know why. I'm even getting like research. It's very interesting here, Pisces, because you have the Nine of Cups and you have the Nine of Pentacles. And this is like where you have become emotionally content on your own, and where you are also able to like support yourself, or where you're also, you know, experiencing some type of abundance in the material world, whether that is with friends, whether that is, you know, whatever it is that you have accumulated over a great amount of time that is like unique unto yourself. It's something, I truly feel like you're being prepared for like the Nine of Pentacles, or the Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. Like, it's like Spirit saying to you, right, you're on the precipice. You are there. You have done the work. You have gotten yourself to this place. You are, you know, you are able to find happiness and joy on your own. You are solid. You are stable. You have done the work. You have mastered yourself. You are no longer in a space where you're going to like fall prey to the narcissist, or that you're going to ignore the red flag, or that you're going to, you know what I'm saying? It's like you've had many teachers, you have learned many lessons, you have learned to master yourself. I mean, the Eight of Pentacles is literally a beekeeper, and bees sting, you know. I don't know why I keep being drawn to that, like that energy of like pain or suffering, like, but now it's like you have learned how to exist in the world with it without letting it hurt you. I don't know. It's like the conversation that I had with my Pisces best friend. All right, here we go. Man, oh man, you guys, it just keeps coming out. The Sun with the Seven of Swords. Like, you have complete clarity on deception. You have complete clarity on those who would mislead you or lead you astray or would do you dirty. And it's like you have this protection around your heart. You have this energy of clarity and healing and seeing the light. And this is, I believe it's about trusting yourself. But with the Ace of Wands, you know, I was telling you guys, I mean, this card literally says career, beginnings, and travel. Like, I feel like we've touched on all those things in this reading. But it is somehow, this thing is tied to your soul purpose. And with the snake on this Ace of Wands, if you guys watch me, you know, whenever I see a snake, I'm always reminded of the way they shed their skin to grow. It's like at certain points in our life, we go through these growth spurts where it literally, we shed our skin. Like, we lose friends that can't go with us where we're going. We lose, you know, environments that at one time were really great for us and really provided a space of growth and inspiration and support, don't any longer provide that for us. And it's like we shed that skin so that we can grow. So there is a major, like, I feel like, you know, when you had this, what is this, taking shelter card, there's this energy, Pisces, of like you're coming out of this phase where it's like you are finishing out a cycle, you're shedding your skin, you're moving into a new cycle where you have a clarity that you did not have before. You have an understanding of things, the way things work, the way people work, who people are, what you need to listen to, you with you when encountering people. You're going to be meeting a lot of people. I feel like you could be dating someone, possibly someone new, or you may even be finishing a cycle with a past person. Or, you know, as in you could be finishing a cycle of separation, coming together with that person, whatever the case may be. But you are not going to fall prey to deception. And man, oh man, you see how this crow is holding this ring here? I'm just getting the feeling of people who don't commit, people who are able to commit or can commit or aren't willing to do what it takes to commit. Going back to the Hierophant with the Seven of Swords, I'm going to clarify the Seven of Swords because I just don't like the Seven of Swords. Not to be mean or anything, but I mean, the cards are the card says theft, dishonesty, theft, dishonesty. It's like twice. Wow, I mean, could this be any clearer? Look at this. I mean, Pisces, the sword is mighty here. Okay. I honestly, I feel it's like this is about really trusting yourself, really listening to your gut instincts, your gut impressions about everyone in every situation. This is about trusting yourself and trusting that clarity that you are receiving. You have, again, with the taking shelter energy and the hangman, it's like you've had a chance to reflect back on the past, to gain the gift, to get the enlightenment. You don't have to carry the story around with you anymore. You don't have to be the person who was deceived anymore. You don't have to be the person who was betrayed anymore. You get to like step out into the world, the whole and complete person that you have done the work to create. 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. That's a very impressive thing. That's definitely what I'm seeing here. And, you know, with the Ace of Swords on the 7 of Swords, it's like there is just this energy of like, I can be frank, I can be blunt, I can cut this off, I can walk away, I can do whatever it is that I feel like I need to do. I have the power with the Ace of Swords. You know, I'm going into this new beginning that is probably somehow tied to my soul purpose. It's definitely something I've manifested. It's something that I want, with the Queen of Wands to the Ace of Wands. With the sureness, with the assurity that I am capable of handling whatever is to come my way. I have learned the lessons of the past. I have gotten the gifts. I've gotten the enlightenment. I'm armed, and I'm prepared, and I'm ready for what is coming. But I am going to shine, and I'm not going to let anyone stop me from shining. I mean, this is like really awesome energy. All right. So many spiritual lessons you have learned, Pisces. I feel like I'm talking to like Jedis, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you know, when we learn to, when we learn that it's okay to really release things and really let them go, when we learn that we don't have to carry the pain or the suffering, we don't have to continue to relive it, we don't have to continue to be that person, to label ourselves in that way, to put ourselves in that box, you know, we are in some way really like taking our power back from the situation. It's like kind of the final step, you know what I mean? Because we aren't going to let it define us. And while we may know that it informs some of the decisions and choices that we make, that is for us to know. You know, Maya Angelou was, there's a conversation between Maya Angelou and Oprah Winfrey that's on YouTube. And she was talking about her son and some of the advice that she had given to her son. And one of the things was, there's a space in your heart that you always have to keep just for you. Just you with you. And it's not a space of shame. It's not a space of guilt. It's just a space that you don't, that no one else has access to, so that it's kind of almost to like, I feel like, ensure your own survival. Like, it's a place where it's just for you, you with you, your own truth. You know, no one else is really going to understand it, because no one else has walked in your shoes. No one else has lived your life, and, you know, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I feel like, you know, in that space is where we sort of carry this energy of, you know, I know what I know because of this experience that I had, or because, you know, I just know. I have a deep inner knowing. It's something that's sort of like, you don't ever need to explain it to anyone. You don't ever need to justify it. You don't need to explain or justify to anyone ever anyway. You know what I mean? But this is just that very personal space where it's like, I've learned this lesson. You know what I mean? I can cross that off. I don't need to continuously repeat that karma or, you know, learn that lesson again or go through another cycle of that. I have that. I have that knowledge. With the Page of Swords, she's holding literally the blade of the sword, which for me, whenever I see that in a tarot card, means I no longer fear the truth. I no longer fear, like, it can't hurt me anymore. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten to a place with something where I I'm not resisting it or denying it as part of my experience, but I don't need to seek reassurance that my truth is my truth, or that my pain was my pain, or that I was justified in having my pain, or that I was justified in my position in this situation, or that I was right, or that I was wrong, even, you know, whatever the case may be. It's like I don't have to fear anything anymore from this past experience. You have the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Cups, and both can talk about fear. You know, one talks more about fear and illusion, and one talks more about fear and anxiety. But they're both fear-based cards. And with the Six of Cups and the Page of Swords, there is this energy of coming to a place of harmony or peace with our past situation, with our feelings from the past, with past possibly relationships or connections, and knowing that we earned our way out of the situation, that we have healed, that we don't have to live our life afraid that the same thing is going to happen again, or afraid that afraid of anything, really, because honestly, you got through it. You're on the other side. You survived it. And when you have survived something once, even though you may not want to go through it again, you have that knowledge that, hello, I can survive it again. I survived it before. I may not want to. I may want to avoid that situation like the plague, in which case you can, by listening to the red flags and trusting yourself when you have those things happen. But you don't have to not open up to ever because you're afraid that that thing is going to happen to you again. You know what you know, and you carry that story, you carry that deep knowing that you got as a gift from having gone through the experience, but you can let go of all the rest, because holding on to all the rest is what perpetuates the fear and the illusion that, you know, we start to look for that in every other person that comes across us, every other person that we meet, every other, you know, relationship that shows up. And that's where we, Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords, self-sabotage ourselves and prevent ourselves from having what we want. You know how Rumi said, seek not love, but seek instead the barriers you've built within you against it. I mean, true words, man. Those are amazing words. And it's true. And a lot of that happens. It's not even like some big, you know, burdensome tree or log or stick or whatever that we're carrying. It is our altered view. It's our altered perspective. It's when we're approaching a relationship, we're afraid to get hurt. We're afraid that that person's going to do the same thing to us. Instead of walking into the relationship confident in our ability to move through whatever the relationship would bring, we're moving into it scared. We're moving into it in an energy of fear. We're moving into it kind of looking for. No, if a red flag is there, that red flag is going to go regardless. You just have to listen to it. And what is the difference between a red flag and fear? Fear wells up within you, and it comes a lot from that voice in your head that's telling you, oh, this person might hurt you. Oh, what if they have somebody else? Oh, what about this? What about that? That's fear. Red flag is it's like there are so many red flags, but it's hard for me to think of one right now. Well, somebody who tells you, a lot of times, like if you are dealing with a narcissist, they'll tell you up front, I'm a very selfish person. I don't like to share. They'll like tell you that. It's one of the ways they let themselves off the hook guilt-wise. They'll literally sit across the table from you and tell you basically that they're a narcissist. And then if you continue on the path because you're willing to overlook the red flag, well, they know you're a sucker and you're going to get taken in by the narcissist. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when I say sucker, this can be somebody that's never experienced it before, someone who's naive, someone who just doesn't know. But this is how they let themselves off the hook a lot. They will say, well, I told them who I was and they still wanted to be here with me. So, that's their own problem. That's a red flag. But with us going, oh, they didn't call me back in 5 minutes. Man, they don't want to be with me anymore. Or man, they're probably talking to somebody else. Or man, they're probably this. Or I probably said something wrong. Or maybe I should reread the text. That's fear. And that comes from our altered view, where someone made us feel that way. Or where, we didn't listen to some red flags and got ourselves into a position where we were suffering as a result of our relationship with someone else because we chose to say, it's okay, I can handle it. Or it's okay if someone's a little bit selfish. I understand. I like to be selfish sometimes too. No. Run. Okay. So this is what I'm feeling from this energy here. Let's go one more. I don't want to leave it on that note. Wow. You have the Two of Swords. You have the Three of Cups with the Magician. It is our mind that keeps us trapped in a prison. It is our mind that keeps us from seeing, things, seeing, when we're talking about swords, we're always talking about our thoughts and our words. And when we are sitting in a space where we are trying to protect ourselves, because a lot of times the Two of Swords is a way of protecting ourselves, where we just say, you know what, I don't want to get hurt again. I'm not going to open my heart. I'm not going to look for it anywhere. I'm not, whatever. Or, maybe I'm waiting for someone from the past to come back. It's the devil I know versus the devil I don't know. Or, it's hard for me to open up and let someone in, and I've already let that person in. So I'd rather just be them come back than have to risk that emotional intimacy again. Whatever it is that we're telling ourselves that is preventing us from opening up to the true abundance and celebration and joy that life has to offer us, and preventing us from wanting to I don't want to say look for, because I don't really feel like it's looking for someone, but it's having the eyes to see someone when they're right in front of you, at least, but when we're in the Two of Swords, it's like we have kind of a closed mind and a closed heart and a closed vision. And, we may be very validated in our reasons for being there, but is that really where we want to be? And if it's not, then maybe it's time to begin now and take the steps to free ourselves from the Two of Swords. And that is stepping into our true power with the Magician and knowing that we do have the tools to survive whatever life puts in our path. And with the Three of Cups, this is about family, friends, joy, abundance. This is about celebration and celebrating the good stuff in life and opening up to the good stuff in life. We never know where we're going to meet our best friend, I feel like I potentially met a really, really good friend, or a couple actually really good friends on this trip, just randomly on an airplane and in an airport. And I just love, because I have had this feeling that, especially here in the United States, it's kind of like people have become more and more closed off, just because of the nature, I think, of the political climate. But even I was in the restaurant in the airport, and there were two other people that were a little sauced because their flight had been delayed. And they were a woman and a man, and you guys, I swear this is a true story. I feel like they're probably in love. I didn't get their numbers, but I really wish I would have. they had met because their flight was delayed, and they were both like, hey, do you want to go to the bar and get a drink? And they were like, yeah. So they both went to the bar and got a drink and sat at the same table and ended up talking, and their flight kept getting delayed. So they were, you know, an older couple, and they were so attractive and they looked so cute together, and you would never have known that they just met that morning. But politics came up, and I think we were all of slightly different political views. But we navigated the space of a political climate for strangers in this country at this time, and we all basically could come to the same basic human truth of what it was we wanted for our country, and that, you know, that we still love this country, you know what I mean? But anyway, there is this energy though of, there is a lot of celebration, there are a lot of people to meet, and like when we go through life in this energy of like, I don't want to get hurt, I don't want to open myself up, or, you know, I've been through some things and I'm carrying those things with me and they're burdens and they have my hands full, and I'm not really, we sometimes don't even realize that we're in that mode, or that we have adopted that way of being. But there's this opportunity here for some kind of new beginning for you, Pisces. And it begins with coming to a place of peace and acceptance of everything that has happened thus far for you. And also this understanding of how we look at other people tells us a lot about how we feel about ourselves, or about where we can kind of dive deep to heal some wounds. So that we're not looking at things that way. Or we can just ask ourselves, and it's not always like some big undertaking. It can be like, well, why am I seeing that in everybody I'm meeting? Where does that come from? Oh, it comes from that past experience I had there. Wow, did I learn a gift? Did I learn a lesson from that? Okay, can I let go of that past experience now? Do I need it to inform every other experience that I have? Maybe not. Maybe I can let it go. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's that simple. So there's just this energy, and there's also the energy of remembering that you have survived 100% of your worst days, and ain't nothing going to take you down. You have a very resilient spirit, and why the hell would you want to sit here with that resilient spirit when you could be out here celebrating and finding joy and abundance and meeting people who also share this on whatever path you're about to begin here, Pisces? All right, let me just dive in and get you some message cards. Pisces, if you, and for some of you, this may be someone from your past also coming back to challenge this. With the Three of Cups, it can always be a reconciliation, and it may even be the person that caused you to have trust issues. If you're dealing with a water sign, you have your intellect arouses me. Integrity. Does this situation align with your values and morals? Yes. Stability. This relationship can stand the test of time. I compare others to you. I want you back. Pisces. All right, here we go. If you're dealing with the fire sign, unplug. Working less will help you strengthen your relationship. Sorry, you guys, got some flippers in the deck, and I want to make sure I got them all. And it's a big deck. Okay, unplug. Yeah, we got that one. I left before you could leave me. We both know I'm not the one for you. I bury myself in work to forget you. I wish we could go back. I trusted you. Obsession. Someone in this connection is gripped by obsessive thoughts. Decision. It's time to decide about this relationship. I won't let you down. I wonder how you feel. You inspire me. All right, and if you're dealing with an earth sign, I'm not financially stable. I feel you leaving me behind. You were the best thing in my life. The timing just wasn't right for us, and I need security. If you're dealing with an air sign, I just saw you came closer than anyone. I can't do this. I regret lying to you. I know you don't feel the same. Play hard, find time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. I can't stop thinking about you. You and I were too young. Time apart, some distance will help bring clarity. I feel so drawn to you. Pisces, I hope this reading followed some kind of path and made some kind of sense. If it did, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. I really appreciate you guys, and I send you off with all my very best. Always, always, always. Bye-bye.